Well, howdy. You want to make money woodworking? I'm super excited for this video because it's going to be so much fun. There's one video on my channel that has blown up with how many people have watched it. And this video right here with my soap pedestals. And so I decided that because that was such a big video and it's been about a year now since that video was released, I would make a remake but with better video quality and with some updates. So before we start, I want to share something interesting with you. About a month and a half ago, a company reached out to me asking if I would be willing to review one of their dust masks and then give my honest opinion on their masks to my fellow woodworkers. So I took them up on that offer, and here it is. This is the Basecamp M Pro dust mask. I'm really excited to share this with you guys, and I'll be giving you my honest opinion about this mask later in the video, but first, let's get building. So I'm going to be using is a Select Pine from Home Depot. It is more expensive, yes, but you're not going to get all the knots in it, and if you're going to do something, you might as well do it right. So all this is just a 1x4 Select Pine, and as you can tell, there is no knots in it. Okay, so for step one, we're just going to cut out the base. My miter saw has a fence ruler on it, so I'm just going to move it up to 9 and cut it from there. But if you don't have a fence ruler, just grab a tape measure and mark it at 9 inches. What I really like about this project is it only takes one board. Not only does it take only one board, it's super simple with only just a few cuts and you're ready to go. I'm not going to be telling you what this is, so stick around until the end. Okay, so for step 2, we're just going to be cutting 2 1-inch pieces for the feet. A few people recommended to use a stop block to help cut even pieces, and it worked, so thank y'all for your advice. So now that we have all the pieces cut out, it's time to move on to step 3, which is to sand them smooth. This is probably the most tedious part, especially with the little feet. But at least it's not a lot to sand. You'll probably want to use 220 grit to get it as smooth as possible. Alright, now that everything is sanded, it's time to do step 4. Okay, so for assembly, it's pretty simple. You just take one of the big boards, and then you take 2 of the feet. I typically put the rough side down, so that way they get the smooth side on top. And just like that. So you can use super glue and accelerator, or you can use what I typically use is wood glue and clamps. But I'm actually going to try to wood glue it and then brad nail it with the nails going down into the bottom. Okay, so I'm just going to be using some Type-On. It's my favorite glue. I've tried other brands. This just doesn't seem to work as well. But I'm just going to take some glue and spread it on, just put it on the thin layer. Just kind of smear it in there with my finger. Alright, and you're just going to place this right on top. And so you can use either a spring clamp, or I have some of these trigger clamps. Either of those will work. I would recommend, if you do have super glue and accelerator, to use those. You can use wood glue and clamps, it just takes a minimum of 30 minutes to set. Okay, so you can see that I already got 3 done that quick. As long as you have enough wood glue and enough clamps, it works great. Now, over here, I'm going to be doing one more, but this time I'm going to try brad nails. I already know this works because of the previous video, but this is a remake video, so we have to do it. Well guys, I continue to use that revolutionary method. Look at how easy that was. Before, I would wait 24 hours for the glue to dry. Look at that. No splits, and you won't even be able to see it. And yes, make sure you have a dust mask, safety glasses, and earmuffs. They each have their own purpose, and I cannot tell you how many times I went without safety glasses and metal or wood has launched into my eye. Step 5 is just sanding again. Yeah, we're just making sure there's no furs, making sure there's nothing sticking up, just making sure our project is nice and smooth. So this is where it's gonna differ quite a bit, because in the first video, I had plenty of people, say that the table saw 45-degree cut for the outside rim was dangerous. I agree, it definitely is. So I took y'all's advice and I purchased some 45-degree router bits. Okay, so all I'm gonna do for this is just take a trigger clamp, pin it nice down to the table to where you cannot move it, just attach that bit to my router and go to town. A lot faster and a lot safer. So I have to say, after using this mask during the woodworking process, it's comfortable. It does fit around my face really nicely, nice and snug. I've used other ones before, but they just weren't tight enough. But so far, I'm really enjoying this. So it's good to have variety. It's kind of a good marketing thing. And so I like to use Kona, which is like a brown. I usually like to use ebony, but unfortunately, my ebony went bad, and so I'm not going to be able to use that today. And also an update, people actually do like the raw. It doesn't sell as good as the ebony or the Kona, but it does sell. Alright, so here it is. Looks nice, looks very nice. You can add whatever finish you want to, polyurethane, tung oil, wipe on poly, whichever is your favorite. For those who watched my last video, you know what this is, but if you have not watched that other video, I'm going to put some videos of what this is. So yes, something as simple as this sells. I've made a lot of sells off of this product. It's just super simple, super easy. Do what colors you want to, make it, do different things to it, experiment with it. It's just a fun project to do overall. So now, the moment has come. Is this the best woodworking dust mask? From all the ones that I've tried, I would say yes. It's trusted by a lot of people. I've looked at their website, all that kind of stuff. It's trusted by a lot of people. I just like the design of it. This is going to be my honest opinion. I love the design as far as the mask goes, and I love the filters in here, so when you breathe out, the hot air that you breathe out and the humidity escapes without letting anything in, and then when you breathe in, you can breathe in nice cold air, just as if you were not wearing this mask. The only design thing that I would say, and this is just a personal preference, it doesn't affect the integrity of the mask at all, just a personal preference, is instead of this strap that attaches to your back of your head, I do prefer ear loops. I just think that it's easier to put on, but I think that this is a fine design to do, especially because it makes it fit around your face a lot more snug than the ear loops. But other than that, as far as design goes, I really like the design of this mask. So how does it perform? I would say that it performs very well. I've used other dust masks in the past. You've seen me use them and in other videos, and like I said, those are not as snug. They work, but they're not as snug as this one is, so I appreciate that. Another humongous pro to this dust mask is the price. You can't beat it, really. So it's very affordable. I like it because you're not sacrificing quality for the price. You're getting both, a really good price and really good quality. I was not able to test it, to see, if there was any dust coming through. I just don't have any of the technology to do that here. But as far as me wearing it, I've had no issues with my other masks. You'll open it up and this will be all dirty inside, which means there is some dust getting through. This is still pure white. I have not been using it very long, but I did test it because I wanted to make sure that this was a good quality product that I could recommend to my fellow woodworkers. And I would definitely say, if you're in the market for a good dust mask, as far as, design, performance and price goes, I would say go with the Basecamp dust mask. If you're interested in buying one of these, I will leave a link in the description of where you can pick one up. If you are in the market for one, like I said, I'd highly recommend Basecamp. Before I end this video, I had a few people ask in the original video if I was selling these, and at the time I had no way to sell them, but now I do. So if you're interested in buying one of these, I will leave a link in the description to where you can pick one up. So if you're interested, that will be there. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Until the next time, keep swimming upstream.